was still there when you called. It had been falling all night. You asked me if I was awake. I said I was alright. Your voice was soft and distant, like something from before. I listened without saying much and heard the rain once more. You told me about your morning, I told you about mine. We stayed between the little words and let the minutes slide. The room was dark and quiet, the coffee had grown cold, but hearing you after so much time made the silence feel less old. I didn't ask where you had been, you didn't ask me why. The rain was still there when you called, but something had grown warm. A little light behind the clouds, a quiet break in the storm. We didn't need to fix the past or make the moment stay. The rain was still there when you called, and somehow that was okay. Said the rain would soon be gone. I watched the glass turn bright. A little silver entered the room as morning followed night. We talked about the ordinary, the things we used to know. And somewhere in between your words, the years began to slow. Maybe some things don't return to us the way they were before. They come as quiet conversations when we need them a little more. The rain was still there when you called, but sunlight reached the room. The morning didn't change the past, it simply made more room. We said goodbye without regret and let the morning stay. The rain was still there when you called, then slowly moved away. Was still that morning, the coffee had grown cold. I sat there with the radio and listened to the old song. The rain was on the pavement, the street was almost bare. I thought about the days with you, then let them settle there. No need to turn the pages, no need to ask me why. The quiet place we left behind still comes to me at times. A little room, a simple chair, a memory in the light. I don't need to go back there, I don't need to make it stay. The quiet place we left behind can rest inside the day. The guitar moved beneath me in soft and simple time. The piano held the lower notes and left the rest behind. The morning slowly opened, the rain began to fade. I watched the light move on the floor and felt a little less afraid. Some memories grow quieter when we stop holding on. They don't become forgotten, they simply learn to move along. The quiet place we left behind still feels familiar now. The years have moved around it, but I remember how. No need to call it sorrow, no need to call it pain. The quiet place we left behind still lives inside the rain. Quiet around me, the evening had grown still. I had a cup of coffee and nowhere else to go. The radio was playing low, an old and simple song. I listened without thinking and let the minutes move. Nothing needed saying, nothing needed more. I stayed here a while and let the world go by. The room was warm and quiet, the evening settled down. I didn't need an answer, I didn't need to know. I stayed here a while and let the silence hold. The coffee slowly cooled beside me. The street grew dark outside. I thought about the days before, then let them pass me by. There was no great beginning, no ending to explain. Just one more quiet evening after another day. Some moments don't ask anything, they simply let us rest. A little time without a plan can sometimes feel like enough. I stayed here a while until the room grew dim. The world was still beyond the door, but I was quiet within. No need to hold the evening, no need to make it stay. I stayed here a while, and that was enough that day. A little sunlight after everything fell softly through the room. The rain and behind, and morning came in blue. I sat beside my coffee and watched the shadows move. Nothing had become important, but somehow I felt new. The rain had filled the streets before. The sky had stayed so gray. I thought about the things I'd lost and let them drift away. A quiet song was playing, the kind I used to know. It brought a little warmth back, then let the silence grow. A little sunlight after everything was all I needed then. Not to change the past I knew, just to begin again. The room was still, the morning calm, the air was soft and clear. A little sunlight after everything was enough to keep me here. The clouds were moving slowly beyond the distant roofs. The coffee had gone cooler, but I stayed there a while. I didn't need an answer, I didn't need a sign. The morning gave me something small and left the rest behind. Maybe healing isn't sudden, it doesn't have to shine. Sometimes it is one quiet breath at an ordinary time. A little sunlight after everything came gently through the gray. I didn't have to hold it close, I only let it stay. The rain was part of yesterday, the morning had begun. A little sunlight after everything was enough to bring me on. The rain was soft that morning, the room was dim and still. You sat across the table and watched the drops fall slow. I held my cup in both my hands, you looked down at your own. There wasn't much that needed words, we already knew enough. The clock moved on beside us, we let the minutes pass. We stayed there without talking and let the morning breathe. No promise, no explanation, nothing we had to keep. There was a quiet kind of truth in everything we didn't say. The day we let the silence speak still stays with me today. The rain began to soften, a little light came through. You looked at me for just a while, I knew what you were thinking. I didn't ask the question, you didn't give the answer. Maybe silence has its own voice when two hearts have heard enough. It doesn't ask for reasons, it simply leaves the truth. We stayed there without talking until the rain was gone. The morning slowly opened and carried us along. No need to change the moment, no need to make it stay. The day we let the silence speak was enough to understand. The rain had filled the morning. The room was cool and gray. You sat beside me quietly and watched the drops fall down. The coffee stayed between us. The cups were almost full. We didn't need to talk much. The quiet felt enough. The rain grew soft and distant. The sky began to change. We stayed a little longer and let the morning pass. The gray moved slowly from the sky. The light came through at last. No need to say what happened, no need to make it known. We stayed until the clouds were gone, then let the day move on. A little gold came through the room and touched the empty chair. You looked outside and smiled a bit. The morning felt less cold. The coffee had gone cooler, but neither seemed to mind. We had a little time to spare and nothing left behind. Some days become much lighter without a reason why. The rain can leave the streets alone and open up the sky. We stayed a little longer until the sky was clear. The morning held a softer sound. The world felt closer then. No promise had to follow. No words were left to say. We stayed until the clouds were gone and watched the light remain. The room was still that morning. The coffee had grown cold. I sat there with the radio and listened to the old song. The rain was on the pavement, the street was almost bare. I thought about the days with you, then let them settle there. No need to turn the pages, no need to ask me why. The quiet place we left behind still comes to me at times. A little room, a simple chair, a memory in the light. I don't need to go back there. I don't need to make it stay. The quiet place we left behind can rest inside the day. The guitar moved beneath me in soft and simple time. The piano held the lower notes and left the rest behind. The morning slowly opened, the rain began to fade. I watched the light move on the floor and felt a little less afraid. Some memories grow quieter when we stop holding on. They don't become forgotten, they simply learn to move along. The quiet place we left behind still feels familiar now. The years have moved around it, but I remember how. No need to call it sorrow, no need to call it pain. The quiet place we left behind still lives inside the rain.
The rain had left the pavement, the morning looked brand new. A little light was resting there on everything we knew. I held my cup in silence and listened to the street. The sound of passing footsteps was softer than it seemed. Nothing had really changed, but I could feel it there. Tuesday felt different after the rain. The air was clean and slow, the clouds were moving somewhere else, and I had nowhere to go. I thought about the days before, then let them pass away. Tuesday felt different after the rain. In a quiet quiet kind of way. The coffee had grown warmer beneath the morning light. I read a message from you once, then put my phone aside. There were no words I needed, no answer I'd missed. The morning gave me room enough to simply let it rest. Nothing had really changed, but I could feel it there. Tuesday felt different after the rain. The room was soft and clear. I didn't need to change the past or bring the old days near. The clouds had moved beyond the town. The morning found its way. Tuesday felt different after the rain. I felt fine that day.
The room was quiet around me. The evening had grown still. I had a cup of coffee and nowhere else to go. The radio was playing low, an old and simple song. I listened without thinking and let the minutes move. Nothing needed saying, nothing needed more. I stayed here a while and let the world go by. The room was warm and quiet. The evening settled down. I didn't need an answer, I didn't need to know. I stayed here a while and let the silence hold. The coffee slowly cooled beside me. The street grew dark outside. I thought about the days before then, let them pass me by. There was no great beginning, no ending to explain. Just one more quiet evening after another day. Some moments don't ask anything, they simply let us rest. A little time without a plan can sometimes feel like enough. I stayed here a while until the room grew dim. The world was still beyond the door, but I was quiet within. No need to hold the evening, no need to make it stay. I stayed here a while, and that was enough that day. The rain had stopped by morning. The room was soft and still. I made a cup of coffee and sat there for a while. The night had left its quiet across the empty room. I thought about the things before then, let them leave me soon. I didn't need an answer, I didn't need to know. The morning came so softly, the light was low and warm. I sat beside my coffee and listened to the room. Nothing had been repaired yet, nothing had been made new. But the morning I finally felt okay was enough to carry through. The street was wet and quiet. The sky was turning pale. A little sun came through the clouds and rested on the wall. I thought about tomorrow, but didn't fear the day. For once I let the hours come without asking them to stay. Maybe healing isn't sudden, it doesn't need a sign. Sometimes one quiet morning is enough to change our mind. The morning came so softly, the room was calm and clear. The things that once felt heavy didn't feel so heavy here. I didn't need to call it hope, I only let it be. The morning I finally felt okay was enough for me. The rain was on the roof, the room was dark and still. Had 1,000 little thoughts, but none I could say. You sat beside me quietly and looked toward the floor. We both knew there were things to say, but neither said them then. The night was getting longer, the silence felt so close. I kept the words inside me until the sky grew light. They weren't meant to change the past or make the wrong things right. I only wanted you to know what stayed with me that night. The words I couldn't say until morning were softer in the light. The coffee had gone cold by then. The rain began to fade. A little gray came through the room and touched the things we'd left. You finally looked toward me, I didn't look away. There was no need for perfect words, just something true to say. The night was getting longer, the silence felt so close. I kept the words inside we let them go? No promise had to follow, no answer had to stay. The words I couldn't say until morning were enough that day. Quiet around us, the evening had grown slow. You sat beside me without words, and I already knew. The coffee stayed between our hands, the radio played low. We didn't need to fill the room with things we didn't know. Somewhere in the quiet I felt a little peace. This feels like us, nothing more, nothing less. A little time together, a little quiet rest. No need to make a promise, no need to make it last. This feels like us, and that's enough for now. You smiled at something on the radio. I smiled because you did. The night was just an ordinary night, but somehow it felt good. We talked about tomorrow, then let tomorrow wait. There was no place we needed to be, no reason to be late. Maybe home is not a place or somewhere we can stay. Maybe it is simply knowing we can be this way. This feels like us. The room is soft and still, and nothing needs to change tonight. Nothing ever will. If morning comes tomorrow, we'll let it come in slow. This feels like us, and that's all I need to know. The rain was still on the pavement, the morning had just begun. A quiet cup beside me, a little light had come. The room was soft and simple, the street was washed and still. I watched the drops grow smaller and let the morning in. Nothing had to happen, nothing had to change. The rain was moving farther, the clouds were growing thin. A little warmth came through the room and settled on my skin. I thought about the days before, then let them fade away before the rain became a memory. I stayed there for a while. The coffee lost its warmth, the sky became more clear, the sounds of morning gathered and brought the town near. I didn't need to keep the night or hold the things it brought. Some memories can leave us without being forgot. Maybe every rainy morning is something it can teach. The dark can pass so quietly and leave a softer peace. The rain was moving farther, the light was setting in, the room was warm and quiet, the day was set to begin. I kept the good inside my heart and let the rest move on before the rain became a memory. I knew the morning had begun. Soft that morning, the room was dim and still. You sat across the table and watched the drops fall slow. I held my cup in both my hands. You looked down at your own. There wasn't much that needed words, we already knew enough. The clock moved on beside us. We let the minutes pass. We stayed there without talking and let the morning breathe. No promise, no explanation, nothing we had to keep. There was a quiet kind of truth in everything we didn't say. The day we let the silence speak still stays with me today. Began to soften, a little light came through. You looked at me for just a while. I knew what you were thinking. I didn't ask the question, you didn't give the answer. Some things can be understood without becoming words. Maybe silence has its own voice. When two hearts have heard enough, it doesn't ask for reasons, it simply leaves the truth. We stayed there without talking until the rain was gone. The morning slowly opened and carried us along. No need to change the moment, no need to make it stay. The day we let the silence speak was enough to understand. quiet around us. The evening had grown slow. You sat beside me without words, and I already knew. The coffee stayed between our hands. The radio played low. We didn't need to fill the room with things we didn't know. Somewhere in the quiet, I felt a little peace. This feels like us. Nothing more, nothing less. A little time together, a little quiet rest. No need to make a promise, no need to make it last. This feels like us, and that's enough for now. You smiled at something on the radio. I smiled because you did. The night was just an ordinary night, but somehow it felt good. We talked about tomorrow, then let tomorrow wait. There was no place we needed to be, no reason to be late. Somewhere in the quiet, I felt a little peace. This feels like us. Nothing more, nothing less. A little time together, a little quiet rest. No need to make a promise, no need to make it last. This feels like us, and that's enough for now. Maybe home is not a place or somewhere we can stay. Maybe it is simply knowing we can be this way. This feels like us. The room is soft and still. Nothing needs to change tonight, nothing ever will. If morning comes tomorrow, we'll let it come in slow. This feels like us, and that's all I need to know. The rain had left the pavement. The morning looked brand new. A little light was resting there on everything we knew. I held my cup in silence and listened to the street. The sound of passing footsteps was softer than it seemed. Nothing had really changed, but I could feel it there. Tuesday felt different after the rain. The air was clean and slow. The clouds were moving somewhere else, and I had nowhere to go. I thought about the days before, then let them pass away. Tuesday felt different after the rain, in a quiet kind of way. The coffee had grown warmer beneath soft and gray. I made a cup of coffee and let the silence stay. The radio was playing low, a song from years ago. I sat there with my hands around the warmth I used to know. Nothing had to happen, nothing had to change. I remember you on quiet mornings when the world is moving slow, not because I need the past again, just because I used to know the way you held your coffee, the way you watched the rain. I remember you on quiet mornings, then let the moment fade. The light came through the curtains, the coffee lost its heat. A little sound from somewhere near moved softly down the street. I thought about those mornings when we had nowhere to go. Some memories don't ask to stay, they simply come and go. I don't try to hold them, I don't need to know why. Some things become much quieter as the years go by. I remember you on quiet mornings when the room is still and warm, a little piece of yesterday before the day moves on. I keep the good and leave the rest where it belongs in time. I remember you on quiet mornings, then let the morning shine. The street was almost empty, the evening had grown still. I walked the final little way with nothing left to do. The day was sitting on my shoulders, but lighter than before. I put my keys beside the door and heard the silence come. No one was waiting for me, no one needed words. The room was warm and quiet, the night was moving slow. I took my coat and set it down and let the whole day go. No need to think about tomorrow, no need to hold on. The quiet part of coming home was where I could be still. I made a cup of coffee and sat beside the light. The rain had left the pavement, the street was calm outside. I thought about the people I'd spoken to that day. Some things were worth remembering, some could simply fade. Coming home is not the doorway or the keys inside your hand. Sometimes it is one quiet breath when you finally understand. The
The rain had left the pavement. The morning looked brand new. A little light was resting there on everything we knew. I held my cup in silence and listened to the street. The sound of passing footsteps was softer than it seemed. Nothing had really changed, but I could feel it there. Tuesday felt different after the rain. The air was clean and slow. The clouds were moving somewhere else, and I had nowhere to go. I thought about the days before, then I let them pass away. Tuesday felt different after the rain. In a quiet kind of way. The coffee had grown warmer beneath the morning light. I read a message from you once, then put my phone aside. There were no words I needed, no answer I had missed. The morning gave me room enough to simply let it rest. Nothing had really changed, but I could feel it there. Tuesday felt different after the rain. The room was soft and clear. I didn't need to change the past or bring the old days near. The clouds had moved beyond the town. The morning found its way. Tuesday felt different after the rain. And I felt fine that day.
The rain had stopped by morning. The room was soft and still. I made a cup of coffee and sat there for a while. The night had left its quiet across the empty room. I thought about the things before, then let them leave me soon. I didn't need an answer, I didn't need to know. The morning came so softly, the light was low and warm. I sat beside my coffee and listened to the room. Nothing had been repaired yet, nothing had been made new. But the morning I finally felt okay was enough to carry through. The street was wet and quiet, the sky was turning pale. A little sun came through the clouds and rested on the wall. Thought about tomorrow, but didn't fear the day. For once I let the hours come without asking them to stay. Maybe healing isn't sudden, it doesn't need a sign. Sometimes one quiet morning is enough to change our mind. The morning came so softly, the room was calm and clear. The things that once felt heavy didn't feel so was enough for me. The rain was still there when you called. It had been falling all night. You asked me if I was awake. I said I was alright. Your voice was soft and distant, like something from before. I listened without saying much and heard the rain once more. You told me about your morning. I told you about mine. We stayed between the little words and let the minutes slide. The room was dark and quiet. The coffee had grown cold, but hearing you after so much time made the silence feel less old. I didn't ask where you had been. You didn't ask me why. The rain was still there when you called, but something had grown warm. A little light behind the clouds, a quiet break in the storm. We didn't need to fix the past or make the moment stay. The rain was still there when you called, and somehow that was okay. You said the rain would soon be gone. I watched the glass turn bright. A little silver entered the room as morning followed night. We talked about the ordinary, the things we used to know. And somewhere in between your words, the years began to slow. Maybe some things don't return to us the way they were before. They come as quiet conversations when we need them a little more. The rain was still there when you called, but sunlight reached the room. The morning didn't change the past, it simply made more room. We said goodbye without regret and let the morning stay. The rain was still there when you called and slowly moved away. The morning came and slowly the room was soft and gray. I made a cup of coffee and watched the daylight stay. A song was playing somewhere, a song I used to know. It brought a little feeling back from many years ago. I didn't try to hold it, I let the feeling rest didn't ask me to remember. It simply stayed there. I thought about the days we had, then let them pass me by. A memory sitting beside my coffee was all that came that time. The coffee slowly cooled down, the street began to wake. I watched the light move on the wall and thought about your face. Not with the old sadness, not with the need to know, just with a little tenderness for someone long ago. Some memories grow quieter the farther years have gone. They don't need to disappear, they simply travel on. There was a memory sitting beside my coffee, still and warm and small. I didn't need to call it love or understand it all. The morning kept on moving, the coffee lost its heat, and that old memory stayed a while, then quietly took its leave. The rain had filled the morning, the room was soft and gray. I held my cup between my hands and let the silence stay. The street was almost empty, the sky was still unsure. I didn't need to leave the room or ask for anything more. The rain grew soft and distant, the dark began to fade. A little warmth came through the gray and rested on the floor. I watched it move across the room like something I'd seen before. No sudden change, no need for words, no reason to explain. The light that came after the rain was quiet, warm and plain. The coffee slowly cooled beside me, the morning moved along. A quiet song was playing low, a simple familiar song. I thought about the days before and things I couldn't change, but somehow they felt lighter than beneath that softer day. Some hope arrives without a sound, it doesn't ask to stay, it simply finds a little room and rests there for a while. A little warmth came through the gray, the clouds were moving on, the room was still, the street was calm, the darker hour was gone. I didn't need to call it hope or give the moment a name. The light that came after the rain was enough to start rain had filled the morning. The room was cool and gray. You sat beside me quietly and watched the drops fall down. The coffee stayed between us. The cups were almost full. We didn't need to talk much. The quiet felt enough. The rain grew soft and distant. The sky began to change. We stayed a little longer and let the morning pass. The gray moved slowly from the sky. The light came through at last. No need to say what happened. No need to make it known. We stayed until the clouds were gone. Then let the day move on. A little gold came through the room and touched the empty chair. You looked outside and smiled a bit. The morning felt less cold. The coffee had gone cooler, but neither seemed to mind. We had a little time to spare and nothing left behind. Some days become much lighter without a reason why. The rain can leave the streets alone and open up the sky. We stayed a little longer until the sky was clear. The morning held a softer sound. The world felt closer then. No promise had to follow. No words were left to say. We stayed until the clouds were gone and watched the light remain. The morning came in slowly. The rain was almost gone. I made a cup of coffee and let the radio play low. The room was soft and quiet. The street was wet and still. I thought about the days before, but not the way I did. Some memories were closer, some were fading out. The morning felt a little new. The room felt calm and plain. I look back at the days before without the old refrain. Nothing had been forgotten, nothing had to change. When yesterday felt far away, I knew I'd come this far. The light came through the clouds and rested on the floor. I took another sip of coffee and didn't need much more. The things that once felt heavy were quieter somehow. I didn't have to understand, I only needed now. Maybe time does not erase the things we used to know. It simply gives them more distance and lets the present grow. The morning felt a little new. The rain had moved away. I kept the good parts close to me and let the rest grow faint. No need to turn the pages back, no need to ask them why. When yesterday felt far away, I could simply let today The room was soft and gray. We had a little coffee and nowhere else to be. You talked about the weather, I told you about my week. The words were small and simple, but neither one felt weak. The clock was moving slowly, we let it move alone. We stayed a little longer than either one had planned. The coffee lost its warmth, still we didn't mind. The light came through so softly, the morning felt so still. It was the morning we almost forgot to leave. And maybe that was why it felt